Naked Shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic.
So all right, welcome to the Mind of Iggy. Of course, like every day, we're all trying to survive. We're all trying to make it on this planet. We're all trying to become better human beings, become better versions of ourselves, become. And that's not always easy. It's not always easy to find our path, to find the right tribe to walk with. But I'll tell you something. A lot of bad things happen to a lot of good people, and a lot of bad things happen to a lot of bad people. But you know, in history, man has wanted to oppress others for control, for money, for domination, you know, to take, to grab, landhold. And you know, granted, this isn't new information. This isn't something that just happened overnight. This isn't something that just occurred just last week or the week before. And a lot of people hold a lot of resentment, a lot of anger about ancestral pains, ancestral things, and use that as a crutch. Use that as an excuse to not heal. Use that as a way to justify what they say and justify what they want to share. Now, listen, I'm from Peru, and I have Indian in my blood, if you want to call it Indian. I'm not here to play the politically correct game card here. I'm indigenous, I'm Indian of South America. Yeah, I'm also European of South American. I have Italian, Norwegian, you know, you name it. I also got Russian, you know, Mali, a little bit of everything, like a lot of us. There aren't too many people here in this country who have 100% blood of native blood, the First Nations people. The First Nation people, they were here first. And you know what? They went through a lot of stuff. And I get that. The First Nation people in my country went through a lot of stuff. The First Nations people in Europe went through a lot of stuff. When the Romans came and conquered a lot of people, the Germanic tribes and all these different groups. We can say a whole bunch of stuff. But to call people colonizers and to accuse them because they don't think like you, the reason why people in my circle sometimes don't grow is because they're attached to old ways. It's not that we're trying to forget that people were hurt, that people were abused, that things happened to them. Yeah, we know that. When does the healing begin? When does the healing start? When we get paid reparations for all the shit that happened to us? Or does it happen when we start to understand that we're all human beings, all my relations? When someone tells you all my relations, that means that they are you, you are them. It's Namaste. That's what it means. Matakuyasan. It's recognition. Irisikwi. When we use those words, aho, ahe, we're acknowledging the other person, okay? That they're another sentient being on this planet. When we start labeling people and calling them something because they don't agree with you, listen, I'm a mixed blood. Majority of people who claim to be Native Americans are mixed blood. There aren't a whole lot of pure-blooded natives. There are, but the majority that I am aware of and I know of, a lot of you, are not mixed blood. And you're not 100%. You're a quarter, 50, whatever. It doesn't matter. And you align with the energy that you most are attracted to. If you're attracted to your indigenous ways, your indigenous roots, of course, you're attracted to that because that's what calls you. But to call people a colonizer, really think about that for a second. Think about what that means when you say somebody's a colonizer. Okay? First Nations people, yeah, they got it rough. They were abused. My people in Peru, my people here as well. But we have to heal, and I don't know when that healing begins. I don't know when that journey starts. There are a group of us who would like to start, and we call it the Rainbow Tribe. The North and the South, when they come together, bringing peace, sharing, and learning from each other, and bridging the gap to humanity. You know, we can be bitter people all our lives and for many generations. And I totally get that. And I totally understand that. And you have the right to remember. Never forget what happened to you, because that's how we learn. But to accuse people because they think differently of you and they don't see the world like you do, because they're trying to move in a different capacity than you, and because they come from a different background than you. You know? Everybody on this planet has been a slave once or another. Every culture has been enslaved by somebody, have been manipulated by somebody, and been abused by somebody. Now the thing is, when people unite and they want to change and create change in the world, they do it. But when they don't want to do it, they don't. And that's my message today. Be careful of the words that we use. Be careful how we approach people because they don't agree with us. Just because somebody sees the world completely different to you doesn't mean that your world's that. That's the way they see the world. That's the way they navigate the world. You know, some of you drive a shitty car. Some of you drive a Mercedes-Benz. Some of you experience the ride of driving a car much differently than somebody else. Some of you are on a motorcycle. Some of you experience life being abused, neglected, manipulated, because that's the energy you invite into your sphere. Because, woe's me. Oh, look at me. I'm the poor guy. If you truly want to change your life, you'll do the things that will make you change that. You will work towards understanding why other people are different than you, because gosh darn it, they are different than you. If you haven't figured that out yet, there's something that is wrong in your perception of how you perceive the world. Now listen, I'm just like everybody else. I wish things would work out a certain way, and I know they will, and I know they won't. But I understand that. And when you understand that, you have the ability and the capability to change and alter your world. Your world is the way it is because you're allowing it to participate that way. You're allowing it to fold out that way. My world is the way it is because of the things that I do, or I don't participate, or I don't say. There's too much anger and animosity going around the world right now because everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be recognized for what happened to their ancestors. But you know what? That's going to happen until the day humanity no longer exists on this planet. So when will we change? When will we move into that space, that place, those places where our heart speaks, not the memories of our mind, that things that bring us back to the places of what happened to many people? We all know that atrocities happen. And to connect to that is very difficult sometimes. But we just know it happened. There are people who are clueless because they don't understand. It's like a baby. When you're teaching a baby something new, the baby will do something until it hurts itself, burns itself. Or, excuse me, somebody actually teaches the baby to see the world in a different light. You know, we all started from nothing. And then eventually we started to, separate and divide and become this human being that we are. For 9 months, we sat inside of another human being, processing, growing, expanding, not even knowing what the world was like, not even understanding where we were. Only thing we knew for 9 months, that we were secure and we were protected, we were warm and we were comforted. And from time to time, we felt emotional pings and pangs. And then sometimes we could taste and feel the emotions inside of us that weren't even ours. Yeah, our mothers, the earth mother, sky father. The seed has to be planted and the sperm has to be put into the womb in order for that to grow. And then the mother takes it and creates it and molds it. As human beings, we also have to learn from that lesson to create from that. Take the seeds that we learn and plant them. We sow what we reap, and we reap what we sow. So be careful what you're sowing, because you will reap certain things, and you may not reap a good garden. So think about that for a second. Think about it before you attack somebody, or for when you tell somebody, hey, you know what? You're a colonizer. Okay? That's a very powerful word when you use that. There's nothing empowering about that. It's just, when you say that, you have to remember governments weren't colonizers, not the peoples per se. Because most people are like you and me. We just wanted to make sure that we had food on the table. The majority of the people who, during those times, just wanted to eat. They wanted to know when their next meal was coming about. But these governments and these forces and these monarchies, they had the power. So when you look at things, look at historically. Think about it. The people weren't against them. If you go back in time, I'm sure they were saying, hey, you just want to make sure I have food for my family. I don't think they were thinking about, oh, we're colonizing, the Americas. Most of those people didn't even know we were in the Americas at that time. Majority of those people who, lived in those 1500s, all they were doing was trying to survive. Trying to maintain. They didn't have toilets. They didn't shower. They didn't have McDonald's. They didn't have the conveniences that you have. They didn't have any of that stuff that you guys have today. Okay? All the things that you have today, and you want to blame the colonization? Well, the colonization brought that. Brought your McDonald's. Brought your Hotel 6. Brought your car. If you drive a car, you ride a bike, you ride a bus. If you use any kind of transportation, then you're part of the colony. It's easy to knock and to say, if you truly don't want to be a colonist, then stop living here. Go somewhere else. Because wherever you go, there's the colony. You're part of the colony. It's part of how humanity developed. Unfortunately, we see the repercussions of our actions. And when I say we, it's our ancestors. Heal your ancestral wounds. Pray for the ancestors as they pray for you, as they watch for you. Their wounds can be healed in this moment, in this present time. If you don't know how to do that, then ask somebody who does the work that I do. My friend Lawrence is here. He's an elder. They can help you. The thing is, we have to really work together, because if we won't work together, we're never going to get past our differences. And our differences are that we just see the world much differently. That's all. There are some people I agree with, and there's some people I don't agree with on this line, on these posts and on these things. The other day, I posted something about Anne Frank. And Anne Frank, as if you know, she was a Jewish girl hiding up in an attic, and she was protected by German people. And it was against the law to do that. Did the people break the law? The laws that were implemented at the time, yes. But human moral laws, no. Here's the thing. What laws do you follow? The laws of Mother Nature, the laws of Great Spirit, or the law of man that's procured and put before us? It's a fine line. It's a fine dance. So you have to really think about this for a second. When I ask people to think about that, we can't let history repeat itself. No one believed that the Nazis would have that much power, but history has proven that that did happen, that people were killed and persecuted and killed. If you don't want history to repeat itself, you have to be aware of the patterns. And what are the patterns? Creating animosity amongst groups of people, being pitted against each other, calling each other colonizers, calling each other racist, calling each other all these different names that we call each other, brown, black, white. You know what? We only know color because someone taught us that there's color, but we're humans. We're human beings. We're the children. It's good to be here, yes. It's good to be here because we choose to be here. We choose to be here. You're in the moment in time to make a difference in the places you're at, in the people you're around. Just because I wear a medicine pouch or necklaces or bracelets doesn't make me Indian. I'm Indian in my blood, inside my heart, inside my spirit. You want to know why they don't call shamans shamans? Because a shaman doesn't announce it to the world that he's a shaman. A shaman already knows he's a shaman. People call him shaman because that's how they recognize his gifts or her gifts. So be good to one another. And you know what? People don't speak for me. When people talk about the Native Americans and the colonizers, really think about that. And we have a lot of healing to do. We have a lot of healing to do. It's obvious. Because in 2021, we're still having these conversations that we're still having. I'm not telling you to forget. I'm telling you to celebrate and to remember that you're here. You're here because somebody worked very hard and very diligently to make sure that your line continued and that you got to this place so you can share their story. And if you know their story, share it. If you don't, learn it. And if you don't, then create it through the imagination of spirituality created through the imagination of your mind, how it may have been. All right, guys, I don't know what else more to say. The only thing I can say is, you know what? Do the best, honor yourself before you go on the warpath and attacking other people because of how you feel, and because you feel threatened, or because you feel that there was atrocities and abuse. Honor yourself. You must honor you. Because if you don't honor you, you can't honor another. Okay, it's like saying, first I have to help myself in order to help others. Yes. Sure, you can help people because you don't have. But you know what? Let's think about this. Let's think. Our two brains, man. The heart brain and the brain. They sync up and they talk. So you know what? I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of every aspect of everything, every part of that I was. I'm the clay that was formed to create me. The Andean blood, the Spanish blood, the Norwegian blood, the Italian blood, the Welsh blood in me, the Scottish blood in me, the Russian in me, the Mali in me, and more. There's a story, there's a pattern, there's a history of what my ancestors did and where they went and how they traveled and how they saw the world, how they explored, and who they met along the way, and who they fell in love with, and who they had strife with, and who they became tribes with. You know, you are a compilation of many things, of many people. Your cells, your DNA. There's a story. We are all one, yes. We are all one. All my relations. I bleed just like you do. I die just like you will. I was born just like you were. With that, my friends, peace and love. Be well. Honor yourself so you can honor other people and try to understand their belief. Remember, other people see the world differently. And don't expect other people to see the world how you see it. Live your world how you feel and how you believe it should be for you. Then other people will acknowledge you and celebrate you because they see the goodness that you bring to yourself and to others. And you lift people up. When you lift people up, there's nothing they can say about you. But when you tear them down, there's plenty of people in line waiting to tear you down. Live your life to the fullest extent. Live your life with the most passionate thing you could possibly live. Because I'll tell you, if you live with passion, you're going to enjoy life. If you live passion of anger, of things that you have no control over. I have no control over what my ancestors did. The only thing I have control over is where I am at today and where I am here present in this present moment in time. That's all I can control. And I can't even control that. The only thing I can do is share my story. This is my story I'm sharing with you. This is my perception, my projection of how I see the world. I want to see the world where we're all understanding one another. I'm not looking for a perfect utopian society. I'm looking for a world where we honor and respect other people because they have a different point of view and different reference, or they see the world differently, or feel differently, love differently. Every person loves, touches, feels, lives differently. And with that, I want to say, it's good to be here. Ho'oponopono, matakuyasin, namaste. Aho, hey, irisikwi. All right, guys, be well. Do the very best you can in every given moment you can. Remember, it's a gift to wake up in the mornings. It's a gift to take a breath. And sometimes we take that for granted. And with that, be well. Take care.